Hello and welcome to the WrestleTalk podcast, here every Tuesday and Friday. I'm Ollie Davis, I'm joined by Luke Owen DAD. Please, if you haven't already, subscribe wherever you consume audio content. That could be here on YouTube, complete with video. That could be on Apple Podcasts. It could be on Spotify. And oh, what's this? From Chris Smith. I was watching some old comic book movies when I noticed a QR code in the background of a crowd shot. At first, it was only on screen for a few seconds, but in later movies, it started appearing more prominently, usually playing a security guard, postman, or bus driver. They even started giving it dialogue, like when it was turned away from attending a superhero's wedding. Anyway, I finally paused and scanned the QR code, but it didn't take me to WrestleTalk's YouTube page, but cutscene on Patreon, where Luke and I review bad comic book movies and occasionally reference this WrestleTalk side project.
It was a really big deal for us to get this. Felt kind of bad that we have some have argued, I have seen some online say that we've sullied the legacy of Stan Lee by replacing him with a QR code.
Yeah, they said George Lucas was the beginning of changing beloved material. And this is so much worse.
Oh, yeah. But in the end, money talks.
Exactly. The controversy and the rage bait has seen so many people not scan the QR code and just complain about it. Yeah. But thank you, Chris Smith. We also review bad comic book movies over on Cutscene. And we have one on Fantastic Four 2015 later this month.
Yeah, it's coming out on December 17th. 2015's Fantastic Four will be reviewed over on Cutscene and in full over on Cutscene's Patreon.
And right now, quite appropriately, the week that The Rock was nominated for a Golden Globe, we review Black Adam, which was The Rock's failed attempt to take control of the DC Extended Universe.
Yes, indeed. We reviewed all of that drama over on Cutscene, and then we do a scene-by-scene breakdown of the movie over on Cutscene's Patreon. It is a long old podcast because turns out The Rock trying to take over the DCEU was a multi-layered step that eventually did not work.
And also was about 20 years in the making?
Almost, really, yeah, because in 2008 he first signed on to play Black Adam.
Wait, he signed on, by his own words, to play Black Atom. Then he realised that's not the character.
Well, he loves the character.
He loves the character for the fans.
Yeah, he did it all for the fans. The fans wanted to see him and Henry Cavill. It's what the fans kept saying.
And the character is the Scorpion King. Don't forget that. Sorry we're talking about comic book movies. We're going to talk about the far bigger thing this week, which is, of course, Luke's 40th birthday.
Yeah, it is. It's my 40th birthday on Sunday.
But that's it. That's the only big wrestling-related event that's happening.
Yeah, I'm not retiring, just for the clarification.
Okay, John Cena is retiring the day before you.
Yeah.
He's counter-programmed Luke's own party.
And the venue that I have for my birthday party have said, do you want to watch it?
How? How is it on?
It's on YouTube.
It's on YouTube for us?
Here in the UK and other territories, it is on YouTube. In the States, it's on Peacock.
God, the States have it so bad. We can just watch this on YouTube for free.
Yeah.
We get everything else on Netflix for like $10 a month.
Yep. In America, you got to get like 4 different packages that are all quite expensive. Yeah, which everything's just on Netflix.
America, it's like medical bills or WrestlePalooza. I can't do both.
Yeah, and I don't know which one to pick either. God, that's a real Sophie's choice right there. But yeah, the venue have said if you want to, you can. It closes, but then they're like, if you just want to stay downstairs, because we're wrestling fans as well, we might all watch the last Saturday night's main event, or the Saturday night's main event.
So because Cena has selfishly decided to retire, that means this Sunday it's just going to be me doing a WrestleTalk news review, very hungover of Cena's retirement, and we'll probably cover our collective thoughts in podcast form on next Tuesday's Raw Review show.
I'm sorry, I'm not coming in on my 40th birthday to do a podcast review of Cena's retirement match.
But we will do our predictions for it right here. Should we put the championship? No, we're doing the championship later with the 3-count predictions.
Yes, we are. I also have another challenge on the line for your Gem That Championship. I got a message from someone over the weekend. So you and I both know Louise. She is a doctor of sorts. We took part in an academic study that she and her partner were doing about content creators. So I've been getting a lot of messages over the last few weeks because Spotify Wrapped has come out and YouTube now do their own version of it as well. And people are like, look at, I'm in the top 1%, the top 3%, the top 5% of viewers. And it tells you how many videos that you've watched of WrestleTalk. It might be like 240 videos or 450 videos. It's like, that's a pretty big number. So congratulations to all of those people. However, Louise messaged me. She is in the top 0.1% of viewers.
Wow.
Having watched in 2025 1,402 WrestleTalk videos.
We haven't made that many videos.
And so...
Is she going back to watch old news episodes?
I think so. And she's
That's old news.
She did message me saying, I will accept the Jam That Championship as my reward.
That's not how this works.
All I'm saying is a challenge has been laid out. That is a super fan has got a really good claim to a championship shot by watching like 1,400 videos across the year.
What? Because
I've more than anyone else.
Because I've watched all of CM Punk's matches. I get to win the World Heavyweight Champion from him. Yeah. It's not how championships work.
Of course it is. You show up and be like, I'm Nikki Bella didn't win any matches. And she just said, I'm next in line for that title. Raquel Rodriguez on this show just said,
next in line for the title, not automatic win.
No, yeah, well, she didn't say she... I'm not saying that she just should be handed the championship. I'm saying I think she's got a stake to say I should get a shot at the championship.
I think this is what's wrong with wrestling. I think marks, they just suddenly think they can become part of the product. Thank you very much, Louise. And anyone else who has committed, frankly, too much time to us this year. We're very, very grateful. If you think you can beat that, it'll be very few if you're because Louise is in the top 0.1%. Comment, I guess. Yeah. Let us know on Patreon.
I want evidence of this. I don't want you just saying, oh yeah, I've watched 3,000 videos. I need proof.
But let's get to the John Cena stuff. We'll just cover the opening promo on this episode of Raw first. Pretty like nothing episode of Raw, I'd say.
Yeah.
I think they're just biding their time for the actual main event this week, which is Saturday night.
No, I think they're just biding their time until the first episode on Netflix.
Yeah.
Let's say Netflix in 2026.
We're in cruise control now. But the opening promo was Gunther coming out, and this was after he beat LA Knight in that very good match on SmackDown to win the Last Time Is Now tournament. Key finish was he used the new sort of submission move, which is a kind of cross-facey thing.
And and if I remember correctly as well, hadn't he been like tapping everyone out in the tournament as well? So, like,
had he?
I think so. Did he tap out Javon Evans?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, I thought he did.
I feel like it was. He certainly didn't tap out Solo.
Oh, in which case I've written my own story for this tournament.
Yeah, well, no, that's the problem. Like, he should have been setting this up the entire time.
Yeah, well,
but no, this tournament cannot have a single story going for it.
I was there being like, oh, actually, that's pretty solid, really. Like, Gunther's been tapping everyone out in this tournament, and now he's going to go on to face the guy that never gives up. That's a fun little story, actually, when I think about it. But then, I mean, that's kind of what WWE are relying on, not me to go back and then fact-check the story that I've written for myself.
I might be wrong, but I don't feel like I've left every match going, wow, Gunther's tapped out another person with this new move.
Yeah.
I don't remember seeing this move until Saturday when I watched it.
I'll just quickly double Solo Sikoa versus Gunther. You carry on.
Yeah. So Gunther comes out and he says, look, John Cena really is the greatest sports entertainer of all time. You can definitely see where it's going, because then he says, but I am the greatest professional wrestler of all time. Beating Cena isn't enough for me. I'm going to push him around. I'm going to bully him. I'm going to break him, because I'm going to make him do what he has. Well, I believe he has done this before, but Cena's whole character is he doesn't give up.
Yeah, he pinned Solo.
Yeah, never give up. So Gunther is going to make Cena give up.
Yeah, fine enough little story.
A great story. Simple.
Yeah.
It was told in like 2 minutes of promo.
Yep.
This is effective.
This was effective. This was what you would want for a go-home promo. Not the hottest of things, but I think that's been indicative of the entire John Cena retirement year run, which has just been, yeah, I guess that's what we're doing.
Well, why isn't Cena on this show? Don't say because he's had his last show.
Because he's had all of his dates.
Yeah, but they could have had... One of the stories that's come out over the last few days is Cena did an interview. He said, I wanted to do a full calendar year. I wanted to do 220 dates. WWE then told him, that's not our business model anymore. We want 36. Wasn't there a happy medium where you could have had him for a lot more dates and he could have maybe been on the Go Home Raw?
Look, I don't want... this is pure speculation. I am not saying that this is for certain. I don't think they care. I don't think that Triple H cares about this John Cena retirement. If this was the Triple H retirement year, it would be the main story of WWE for the entire calendar year, and he'd be all over the show. I don't think he cares about John Cena retiring. I think he is on TV being like, yeah, objectively the greatest of all time. I don't think he believes it. I don't. If everyone's like, where's your evidence? Where's your proof? Because this is pure speculation. I've got no evidence. I've got no proof. But I have watched WWE in 2025. And my assumption based on watching that is he does not care about John Cena's retirement year. He does not think it's a big deal.
John Cena has often been used for another purpose at every point. Elimination Chamber, heel turn. It's to sell more tickets. Then it's to get over Travis Scott. Then it's to bury The Rock. Then it's to make CM Punk apologize to Saudi Arabia.
It's to hide the reason we brought back Brock Lesnar.
It's to get over Logan Paul. And now it's to put over Gunther on the way out. So shall we get into our predictions for Saturday night's main event? There's our go home segment. We also got in the crowd throughout the night the featured players from NXT. That's NXT champion Obafemi. It was Sol Ruka, who will be taking on Bayley at Saturday night's main event. And Javon Evans, who in a surprise announcement will be teaming with TNA's Leon Slater to take on AJ Styles and Dragon Lee.
Which has pulled Slater from some quite big bookings over the weekend. He was meant to be at WXW's big anniversary show on the Saturday, and then in Cardiff on Sunday for the big Rev Pro show. And where he was in the main event fighting for the British Heavyweight Championship against Shah Samuels with Jay Joshua as well. And he's been pulled from both of those events. That boy is signed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like that is... We've been saying it for the last few weeks. I've been saying it on the WrestleTalk News now. Pretty much since he started being featured on NXT. It's like, he's 100% in the Joe Hendry, Jordan Grace position of, you're with TNA, but really you're already signed to WWE. That boy is heading there straight away, as the second he can.
And you can't begrudge him. He's a really exciting wrestler. This is the biggest company on the planet. Yeah, great for him.
Great for him. I'll see him on the main roster in 2035.
It does have the consequences, however, that the lovely lifeblood of professional wrestling, particularly our adored Rev Pro, which is a local promotion of ours, has had one of their main storylines scrapped.
Yeah, that they've been building to for months.
Yeah, a week before the show.
Yeah.
So sucks, but that is the way of independent wrestling. You always run the risk that your main star is just going to go to WWE at a moment's notice.
We, here in the UK, it's called, I think it's Shark Tank in the US. We have Dragon's Den over here, but it's the same concept of people pitching to very wealthy investors, invest in my thing. We had a wrestling promoter in the UK from North Wrestling go in there to pitch, would you like to invest within our wrestling and make it bigger? And one of the things that the Dragon said against it was, well, because the guy was like, the problem with British independent wrestling is that we build up a lot of talent and then they just get signed by WWE. And then one of the Dragons was like, then why should I invest? Because this is a star-driven thing. If you're just going to lose all your top talent, I'm not going to invest money in that because you're always just going to be losing out to WWE.
Should we go through our predictions then? Let's. You've got the matches there.
I have indeed. We have got Cody Rhodes versus Obafemi in a champion versus champion match. Neither title is on the line. I would say for Raw, and again, maybe this is because it was John Cena's idea that he wanted it to be. This was not the original plan for Saturday Night's main event. This was a John Cena idea to do the future stars versus current day stars, like doing NXT versus main roster. Maybe it's because it's John Cena that they didn't do any big angles to sell this idea. I think they could have done more than just showing Obafemi in the crowd and being like, get excited for Saturday Night's main event. Showing Sol Ruka in the crowd and being like, get excited from. Do an angle.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. This is a go-home episode to this show.
But
There are other matches.
They were there. Like, they were there in the ring. They could have done an angle.
So Obafemi, of course, won the title back from Ricky Saints on Deadline at the weekend. That, to me, feels like a bit of a change in direction because of the Cody Rhodes match on this coming Saturday. So, yeah, like, get him over some more, right? You could have
a promo.
Well, he cut a really good promo after the match where he was like, change always wins, or something to that effect.
But I mean, on this episode of Raw.
Yeah, that's the theme of potentially the theme of Saturday night's main event. Absolutely have an in-ring promo of Cody and Obafemi, and maybe who's your guy? He's Marty Supreme.
What? Sorry, try that again.
You know Marty Supreme. He's on the podcast.
Marty Supreme.
He's the hot young boy. He's the hot young boy. He's Marty Supreme. He's on a podcast with Cody Rhodes. Why can't I remember his name?
Timothy Chalamet.
Timothy Chalamet. have Chamalets in there. Have little Tim Shams.
Marty Supreme.
That's his name in the movie.
Yeah.
In the ping pong movie. It looks really good.
Okay, I didn't even know he was in a ping pong movie.
It's coming out soon.
Okay. I'm only interested in Supergirl and the Doomsday trailer at the moment.
It's directed by the brother of the guy who directed The Smashing Machine. So it's like both Safdie brothers are going up against each other this year in A24 produced sports biopics.
Cool. Great.
My money's on Marty. Take that, The Rock. Yeah, so this is hugely exciting, though. We were fantasy booking that Obafemi should win the Last Time Is Now tournament, and then beat Cena. We didn't get that.
Less of the we.
You can't obviously tell a story. So here we have Cody versus Obafemi. There's a bit. I'm tempted to go with my heart here. I'm tempted to say Femi with some kind of Drew McIntyre interference.
Look, the right call here, the absolute right call here is for Obafemi to win. It 100% unequivocally should be Obafemi winning. Whether that's through shenanigans is certainly up for debate. I do have that little bit of reservation, though, from a WWE booking mindset of, do you want to pin your WWE champion, like, not that far out from the Royal Rumble, not that far out from when you're starting the road to WrestleMania? Because if Femi pins Cody Rhodes, that has to set something up down the line. That is a huge domino that falls that will then have ramifications down the line that have to pay off for WrestleMania. Or you could just look at it, it's a bottle episode of Saturday Night's Main Event, and the results here don't actually matter about anything. It's a house show.
That's probably how WWE see this, unfortunately.
So I'd love to see Femi win. I think Femi should win here.
Because you could do Femi, this was Dave Meltzer's take. It's a non-title match. You could have Obafemi win, and then you could say Obafemi gets a title shot at Cody Rhodes at Royal Rumble.
Love
right?
That, yeah.
Royal Rumble, it's not sold on the title matches. You can do different things for title matches on that episode, PLE. And then Cody can beat Oba.
Yeah. That's actually not the worst idea in the world. I really do think Oba should win here, though.
I feel like there's this Roman Reigns devil on my shoulder that's like, hey, if I'm facing Cody at Mania, no one's beaten him before me. That's an obstacle. But you got to look at the long term here. The main themes in wrestling right now is everyone's retiring. And then you've got your core group who are Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes. CM Punk is in that sort of over-the-hill bracket, I would say. You've got to be focusing on these new up-and-comers. And that's Bron, it's Obafemi, it's Dom, and it's, people like Siobhan Evans.
I'm going to actually change my pitch because I realised we've missed the secret third option here. Double DQ.
Oh, tasty.
Drew runs in. Say this is the opening match of the night. Drew runs in, attacks Cody Rhodes, and it's declared a double disqualification or a no contest.
Is that worse? Is that the worst option?
100% is the worst option available, but it is an option that could be on the table. That means that Femi doesn't lose, Cody doesn't get pinned, you don't have to set anything up down the line. I actually think it's a very viable option to just do a no contest.
You know what? I'm going to say Femi. I've just had another idea.
Okay, hit me.
No. It'll become apparent as we go through.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, other contest that we've got is Bayley versus Sol Rooker. This is one where I'm like, no, Rooker's going to win here. Bayley loses nothing by getting pinned by Sol Rooker. Sol Rooker actually gains a lot from beating Bayley. Bayley is on this big journey at the moment of trying to create this new era of women's wrestling, the next generation of women's wrestling. She had this amazing seminar she held last weekend, which John Cena was there in attendance for. Sapphire Reed and Anita Vaughan here in the UK, they attended it. It was apparently fantastic. I think 100% Bayley is looking up at the lights to put over Sol Rooker here.
Oh, yeah. And Sol Rooker's so good. She's
awesome.
One of those people who could be called up right now.
100%.
But yeah, I agree. Sol Rooker.
All right, maybe I can see where you're going with all of this then. And then we've got AJ Styles and Dragon Lee versus Javon Evans and Leon Slater. Non-title match. I think Slater pins AJ to set up Slater versus AJ on the first AMC TNA Impact.
For the X Division title.
Title.
Good God. I mean, I was already going to agree with you because I also had Javon and Leon to win this match. Again, it's a non-title match, blah, blah, blah. You have just sent me from 6 to midnight, my friend. That is a phenomenal boner right there, what you just described.
Yeah.
That is a fantastic idea.
I'd love it to be the idea. I'd love that to be the direction. Whether it is or not, I don't know. I do think that WWE will want the first episode of TNA Impact to do very well. TNA obviously will want it to do very well on AMC. I think they are going to load it up with NXT names. I would not be surprised if they do a couple of main roster stars on there as well. And AJ versus Leon Slater is something they kind of did tease and set up at Slammiversary.
And this is AJ's final year we're entering. There's so many big retirements over the horizon now, on the horizon. Like there's this, Brock Lesnar might also be retiring at SummerSlam in Minnesota, according to John Cena. So yeah, if AJ goes in, Leon Slater pins him in the tag match. AJ pins him, wins the X Division title. He was the first ever X Division champion. And then in his retirement run, that can be AJ's US title. He can defend it on Raw. He can defend it on TNA. And who eventually beats him? It's Leon Slater.
Yeah.
And that's the long-term story you tell there.
I don't think it goes that long. I think that Slater just beats him on the first episode of AMC.
Okay. Well, regardless, the reason I have booked all the NXT people to win there is because then you go into the main event of John Cena versus Gunther. It's a night of change. It's a night of the upstarts beating the veterans, which sets up the perfect story for John Cena winning. I
also kind of agree that Cena should win. I am actually going to say Gunther. I'm going to say Gunther is my prediction. So we had one of our Patreon, head patreon.com/WrestleTalk if you want to get your thoughts in on episodes of Raw. We put up a post on our Patreon, and you can go leave your thoughts there, and they will be read out on this podcast, and we'll address them as we go through the show. But Neil Sutton left a comment that said, in all of the Mania main event discussions we've been having recently, Gunther's name hasn't come up at all. Wouldn't it be sadly fitting for Cena's awful retirement storyline to end with a victory for Gunther, which means nothing in the long term? And that's where I think there is something, not in the long term, but if Gunther beats Cena, that sets him up for a Brock Lesnar match at WrestleMania, the two guys who beat Cena.
That's very obvious. Well, Cody beat him as well, obviously. But yes.
Yeah. But like the two guys who, like, imagine if he dominates him as well. The two guys who absolutely dominated Cena in his retirement year, are going to clash at WrestleMania. And that's the storyline and build to go towards it. Like Cena is, he's been talking about in these interviews and stuff like, I put over Brock Lesnar because it needs to build up Brock Lesnar for a purpose. I think that maybe that is the purpose for him to face Gunther. Yeah. And maybe for Gunther to beat Brock at WrestleMania. Well, let us know what you think. Put your predictions in the comments down below. But you're saying you think Cena? I'm saying Cena. Brian Alvarez. I can see it either. I can see it either way. Alvarez has been saying this on Wrestling Observer on the Brian and Vinny show, that he should win. One of the best retirements we've had as of late was with the Sting one. And Sting won in his retirement match, and it was an awesome feel-good moment. I think you can have that here. But maybe the feel-good moment is Triple H coming out to announce that Cena is going to be the headline act of the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
That's your feel-good moment to send the crowd home happy. Cena losing this final match builds Gunther versus Brock. The feel-good moment, Cena's going into the Hall of Fame, presumably to do a fine speech.
Oh, you think Triple H comes down? You don't think... No chance. That's what you got.
If Vince is there, I think he's being shown in the crowd. I think Triple H, I think will get the full entrance, or maybe he'll not get the full entrance, but he'll certainly come down to announce that Cena's going into the Hall of Fame. That's how the show will end.
Well, let us know your predictions down in the comments. Let's get on with the rest of this show. So it opened with the Gunther promo, which was very effective. Then we had Iyo Sky versus Kairi Sane. Really, I thought all the wrestling on this episode was of a very high quality.
Yeah, I'm just going to bring this up because it does tie into this storyline here. But we always skip over the people arriving because it is just people arriving with suitcases. There was a little bit, though, with the Bayley-Lyra interaction, though, which is that Lyra accidentally drank Bayley's coffee and then did her traditional overacting that there was something else in it. I think it was supposed to be there's booze in it. And maybe that's where this Bayley storyline is heading.
What?
Yeah.
A drinking problem?
Or it's part of that split personality.
And the split personalities in the drink?
It's like Jekyll and Hyde.
Could it not just be that Lyra thought it was like she wants more sugar in her coffee?
Yeah, it's got oat milk in it. And she's like, oh, no, rubbish.
This is vegan nonsense.
I'm just saying,
milk and oat.
It could just be.
It's not got tits. Little uddery tits. They're oats. I have oat milk. I'm being glib.
I was going to say you're an oat milk drinker. It might have just been them having a little bit of fun, but maybe there's something more to it.
Probably not, though.
No, probably not, though. But anyway, I would agree with you. I thought up and down, good wrestling on the show this week. Not a whole ton of story stuff going on, but the in-ring product was very good.
Kairi Sane has been this way for a while, but she's a full-on heel. She's no longer like the Asuka bullying her and Kairi's apologizing to her former friends. She's full on heel. She was mocking Io's poses, but yeah, really good match. They fight onto the apron. Iyo hits a German, like a bridging German on Kairi, then an Asai moonsault to the outside. Asuka interferes a bit. Rhea beats Asuka up. Iyo hits a moonsault anyway to win.
Yeah. Good match.
Good stuff. And it keeps the whole women's tag division bubbling. It's like so star powerful right now. Mm-hmm. The Vision are backstage, and Logan feels like the leader. What's going on?
Well, he was the leader certainly for this episode because he was the one who was getting the main events. But like the angle that he has here, so he wants to come in and be like, hey, did everyone see what happened with Rey Mysterio last week? We should go and take out Rey Mysterio. But the Vision were there to let him know, like, yeah, they've got your back, but really, you're not mates with us.
Yeah, because Braun and Bronson didn't really like jump. Yeah, sure, boss. I guess we got a lot to learn. But they did stand up and go, okay, let's go take out Rey Mysterio. I don't know. This didn't work for me. I thought we were going in the right direction last week with Break as the focal point, but just visually and the way their characters are interacting, this feels like a step backwards.
Yeah.
But like even little things like in the main event, the promo had them positioned with Logan in the middle, in the Seth position. I think that's bad. That's a bad idea. You want Braun to be the focus of everything now.
I feel like he was the one who got the big long promo. Weirdly, like into then cut to a backstage beatdown of LA Knight. But I think that Heyman saying to Logan Paul, "Yeah, the Brons have got your back," and Logan's like, "Well, and also if they need any help, I'm also there." And he was like, "Yeah, sure, yeah. I mean, if they ever do need help, like." Yeah, they'll call upon you, YouTube's Logan Paul. Then he hands him the brass knucks, just in case.
We get a War Raiders video package ahead of the tag title match later, because they're a thing, remember them. And then we get Logan Paul versus Rey Mysterio. Was it actually meant to be a match?
No, it was meant to be Rey Mysterio versus Finn Balor.
Right.
And then Logan attacked Rey while he was making his entrance. And then the Masked Man appeared to attack Rey Mysterio doing the stomp. And Logan hits the one lucky punch. And LA Knight ran in to make the save.
Cut a good promo, LA Knight.
The crowd were fired up for this promo.
Yeah. A bit late on the save.
Well, he had to drop his catering.
Yeah. But security also chased the Mystery Man out.
Yes.
Not out enough because he comes back at the end of the show.
Now, this has been, checking Reddit this morning. A lot of people being like, that's not the ass of Austin Theory. That's a different person. And there was a comment, I think we might get to it later on, that made the pitch. What if it's multiple men? What if it's for two reasons? One, it hides who the actual mystery man is by putting lots of different people under the mask. It is one person, but he's played by multiple different people to throw you off the scent. Maybe that's done because after Survivor Series, they're like, no, that's just Austin Theory. So they're like, well, let's shake this up. Or is it going to be, no, actually, there's 5 of these guys, and they're going to be a new group.
A new group outside of the Vision?
Yeah.
And they're not actually part of the Vision, they're just weirdly helping them right now.
Just spitballing ideas.
Yeah, it could be possible. They sort of, one comes out and you're like, oh no, it's the Mystery Man. And then another appears, and then another. Oh my God, it's more than we thought. It's Retribution.
It's Jericho's new stable.
Yeah.
It's the new Jericho Appreciation Society.
Full of NXT guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, possibly.
He'll get them over.
Whatever it ends up being, I don't think they're doing it well. This is I love a mystery storyline.
Mm-hmm.
Where is the immediate segment afterwards backstage of Adam Pearce going, who was that? Security, go find him. You two wrestlers, I want you to, guard these doors or whatever. We can't have this. Going to grill Paul Heyman. It's another instance of this person interfering in your match.
That'll be next week.
But that's bad. That's a bad TV show.
Yeah, I know, but it's what Raw moves at a glacial pace.
Then we get a through gritted teeth, congratulations of The Rock for getting a Golden Globe nomination.
So let me know when he gets nominated for an actual award. The Golden Globes are a joke, though.
AJ Styles and Dragon Lee then took on the War Raiders. Great match this was. I think they're in the sort of go out there, have the best match of the week slot with the tag belts. Dragon Lee couldn't pick up Ivar at one point, and I thought, I've seen this game before. You struggle, and then you struggle again, but on the third time, you pick him up and you hit a really impressive move. No, you couldn't pick him up. Just couldn't pick him up. Moved on to something else.
Yeah.
But the stuff they moved on to was really good. Like Eric threw Lee off the apron into a power slam from Ivar.
Yeah, doing the Viking experience off the apron to the floor. That looked like it sucked to take.
Really, really inventive stuff. AJ hitting a top rope Hurricane Rana on Eric into Ivar, stuff like that. Yeah. Phenomenal forearm from AJ to win. Very good tag match.
I think that's going to be AJ's basically his new gimmick. Like after the Styles Clash from last week, which they were like, it would not stop talking about on commentary, the most inventive Styles Clash in the history of all time. I think that's going to be his new thing now. Look at all the new creative, inventive stuff that he's busting out, which will then set him up nicely for when he goes up against Leon Slater, who is, and guys like Siobhan Evans, these guys who are elevating up the game.
I am really looking forward to Saturday night's main event.
That's my most anticipated match. Like I'm super.
Is it though?
Yeah, Dragons with Smiles versus Slater and Evans. 100%. That is my most anticipated match of the night.
But just when I think that, I'm like, and there's Rhodes Femi. Like that. I really want to see it.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, and Cena Gunther, it's going to be a fantastic.
Well, that's the one.
It's not Sol Rooker and Bailey, I'm afraid.
I'm actually more into Sol Rooker and Bailey than I am Gunther versus Cena.
Outrageous, contrarian take.
It's not a contrarian take. Do you know why? It's because I was having a drink with someone on Wednesday from another podcast, and they were like,
"You've been cheated on,"
and they were on their podcast, like, LA Knight has to win this tournament. He 100% has to win this tournament. It does so much for LA Knight. It can't be Gunther. It's too obvious. It's too predictable. It's too safe. It has to be LA Knight. And I was like, it's going to be Gunther. It was reported months ago that they were going to have a tournament and Gunther was going to win it. And what happened? They had a tournament and Gunther was going to win it.
The tag match actually had an interesting angle after it, which has made the tag division feel revamped. So New Day, who were not on commentary, they were just sort of next to the commentary desk watching, even though they were beaten pretty much clean last week. Grayson Waller's there too. They get in the ring right after because they want another tag title shot. They're still doing the morning thing. It's been going on for way too long, but credit to them. They're trying to make something of this.
Yeah.
But then the Usos music hits.
No. Jey Uso's music
You're
hits.
correct. It's just me, Us.
It's just me, Uso, and my brother Jimmy Uso.
So Jay and Jimmy come out. Jay, who we last saw leaving the arena, totally dejected, thinking Roman Reigns is the only family member who should be winning singles titles right now. And there he is, with a kid on his shoulder, yeeting.
Yeah, I've written my notes here. I guess Jay's just fine again.
Yeah. They come down to the ring and they cut, very good Uso-style promo that they're back in the tag division. And they're going to come for the tag belts. They teased a face-off with the New Day and a little scuffle as well. That legendary rivalry. Mm-hmm. They beat them up, threw them out the ring, and Grayson Waller is just there by himself. And he suggests they do it over, which was hilarious,
Very funny.
I thought. But yeah, here the Usos are back together again. It's tag division Jey Uso.
I think they have a tag title match, which Jay loses. And that will be the one that leads to the heel turn to build to Jay and Jimmy 2 at WrestleMania.
Oh, no.
Maybe I am being... I don't want to sound like I'm being glib here. I'm actually trying to be positive. Because I think this storyline needs to go somewhere. We have been doing this for months now, this Jey Uso story. Months on end we've been doing this. Then stopped it so we could do Survivor Series. And then we picked it back up again. It has to lead to something. If it doesn't, then 2025 has been a colossal waste of time for Jey Uso. This has to lead to something.
He won the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, and I think it leads to Jay turning heel, and it's Jimmy Jey 2 at WrestleMania, this time with Jay in the no yeet role and Jimmy in the yeet role.
But maybe they do want to prove a point that they can have a good match as well.
I think that's a good point, yeah.
So this was... I can't tell whether WWE have just dropped all their plans, which we have evidence of this year. They're not beyond that. They did it with Cena's heel turn, remember? Mm-hmm. And they're just like, right, it's not working. You're a tag guy again. Or if it is what you're saying, this is actually part of Jay's crisis in confidence. I can't win a singles belt. I've got to regress. And then he resents the regressing. And yeah, he turns heel or he blows up in some other way.
Yeah. Part of Jimmy's promo was, my brother Jay's lost a lot this year. He's lost to all these people. And he started listing off all the people that Jay's lost to. And Jay was there being like, yeah. I think that it's part of it to lead to this heel turn.
We got Stephanie Vacquer doing the only sort of segment she knows how, it seems, which is an in-ring Jackie Redmond interview. Mm-hmm. She came down. Who's next for Stephanie Vacquer? She puts over the women's locker room, and she's at the top of it, even though it feels like she's at the top of the mid-card division, weirdly. And then Nikki Bella walks out.
I was so surprised that Nikki Bella came out because I'm like, no, we've done you. You're... we were on this one back again. I was like, no, we did this. Have I loaded up a wrong episode of Raw?
Yeah, I don't know. Has she not got the Uber app on her phone? Why can't she get home? Can she came here back in June, and she's still here.
Yeah, she just keeps showing up.
But it was a ruse. Nikki came down. She said, you're not done with me. And Raquel Rodriguez comes through the crowd, lawn darts Nikki Bella into the ring post, wiping her out. She gets in the ring, speaks a bit of Spanish, and says, I want to fight you.
Yeah.
And that sets up the title match.
Really interesting, because obviously last week we set up that was Liv. And Raquel was going to be in the tag title scene with Roxanne. Like the final image last week was Roxanne and Raquel holding up the tag belt. Liv handing the tag belt to it to be like, I'm going to have the main title. You two go in this, and Judgment Day will rule Raw. And then we got this angle here where Raquel's like, no, I'm going to go for the main title. Which then led to I thought, a very good backstage segment where Liv's like, oh, I'm not jealous. Like, my friend's going for the title. That's really cool. It means now that me and Roxanne can go for the tag titles. Liv is trying to sort of play this peacemaker between the group that Judgment Day is fine. It does mean that we've got to have another year of Judgment Day drama, which I've got, literally no interest in. But I thought that Liv's performance here was very good, and I think that role for her to try and keep this group together is an interesting one.
Yeah, and there's plenty of tension directions you can go in where, because I don't think Raquel's beating Stephanie. It sort of gives Stephanie an actual title challenger, even though it is Raquel who does feel more women's IC belt, but it elongates it slightly. Maybe Raquel doesn't beat her, and then Liv does beat her at like a Rumble or a, you know, there's a Saturday Night's Main Event in January, or the Netflix, the first episode on Netflix.
And it does basically
2026.
It sort of delays the Liv title. I think Liv has to win the title back. I think when she has her first title match, she likely is going to win that belt back. So we kind of do want to kick that into the long grass a little bit, not just rush our way into it. So this can delay that ever so slightly.
There's a report, by the way, that Nikki Bella might become a heel manager. For who? Who would you pair her with? Sol Rooker?
No, because he used to be a heel. I don't know.
I cannot think of anyone that fits.
I mean,
Could be a guy.
You could put her in like... Okay, do you know what you could do? Maybe it's just because we've just watched 2012, 2013 TNA, but do like the Tara boy toy stuff thing where she has a young male who is sort of like, you know, a hot bod type guy. And she's like, it's her hot young boyfriends. And
I don't know if that tracks in 2025. Not from like you can't do a romance storyline, but everyone's so aware of her. Oh no, wait, is her marriage broken down?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. Well, if she's single, maybe that would work.
Yeah. I mean, like, I'm spitballing ideas here.
I think Grayson Waller weirdly fits that act.
That's actually not the worst idea in the world. It gets him away from New Day. I kind of like. Also, yeah, Grayson Waller kind of fits in with that. He played that up really well.
Well, yeah, but that's where we are with the women's sort of, I guess, top title. Weirdly.
Well, yeah. I suppose if you can put a negative onto this, it does sort of devalue the women's title once again. Like, it really felt when Liv got back into the picture that we were getting Stephanie Vacquer a proper challenger for this belt, which she doesn't have at the moment because all of the top women are involved in the tag title scene, which has come at the detriment of her singles title. But then when Liv's like, okay, great, this feels like this is elevating the title back up. Being being Raquel, I kind of feel like it drops it back down a bit.
Because Liv is also, now entering the tag division. She came out in Roxanne's corner for the next match, which was against Lyra. Again, one of those matches that's really part of the larger tag division. You got Roxanne and Liv, and then you got Lyra and Bayley. They had a terrific match. I really, really like Lyra in the ring, and Roxanne's brilliant. And it was just, I'm going to work over your left arm.
Yeah, this crowd were not here for this match. They didn't have a ton of heat, which is a shame, because it was really, really good.
They had so many, just everything seemed to get countered and reversed, like they're so familiar with each other.
Yeah.
But ultimately, Liv was on the apron to distract. Bayley wipes her out, but then Liv fights her off, rakes Lyra's eyes, and Roxanne hits a Pop Rocks to win.
Great match. I thought it was really, really good. Shame it didn't have the crowd here.
And it shows that Liv and Roxanne are an effective partnership, which is, you need that because if they're essentially a new tag team. Tiffany Stratton got her WrestleMania promo. She doesn't buy all the fake smiles. Maxine got another training promo. These are really well made because last week it was Maxine getting beaten up and she gets knocked down, and then Natalia's like, again. And she's like, I can't do it again. And then at the end, Maxine stands up and she's like, again. And this time, through montage and some really intense editing, it's Maxine getting the better of Natalya.
Yeah.
And she makes Natty tap in the ankle lock.
And then says, again. It's kind of rad.
Badass.
Like, do I want to see super serious Maxine Dupree? I don't know. Like, I'll wait to see it on TV. But maybe it's one of those, like the R-Truth situation, which you very accurately predicted would happen when he came back, which is, no, I don't think these fans want Ron Killings. They want goofy R-Truth.
I just don't know if Maxine Dupree can play this role in a live format.
Yeah.
You can edit stuff very well and pre-produce stuff, but yeah. We've got more of this frickin' Cena interview that looks like the most boring interview he's done out of all the many interviews.
Yeah,
Where's Chris Van Vliet? Give Chris Van Vliet. I was listening to the Joe Rogan interview with John Cena. It's a fascinating conversation. I don't want... What's his name? Riboldi?
Well, he's a noted journalist of some sort.
I don't know who he is over here. But yeah, it's Cena on audience criticism, specifically on the "you can't wrestle" chants. And Cena, I hear that as, is that the best you can do? Which means I'm not doing good enough. So that's an opportunity to learn. Everything for John Cena is an opportunity to learn. I know, people take against Rogan, and sometimes I do as well. But he's a great conversationalist interviewer, and they talk about the whole Taiwan thing. So it's really interesting to get Cena's whole take on that.
Okay. I lolled at this anyway, because Cena was like, in 2005, they chanted, "You can't wrestle." So in 2016, I did some new moves. Great. Thanks for the 10 years of you doing the same old nonsense, mate. Thank you. You really did take that chant of "you can't wrestle" to heart.
And then the main event was Logan Paul versus LA Knight. And I thought, well, we've got 30 minutes left of this show.
But I thought that as well. I was like, maybe it's not the main event.
I guess Logan Paul might have been rehearsing this match for a while. I don't know. That doesn't seem to be the way with the TV matches he does. But yeah, it only actually really goes 10, 15 minutes. LA Knight, he's really good and intense at the moment. But the bronze come down. That distracts the referee. Mystery Man comes in. He does a stomp on Knight on the announce desk, and then he runs away, and Paul gets the win.
This is where I would say I would agree with the point you made earlier, that it made Bron Breakker feel like just a henchman, because he comes down, he's the one that causes the distraction. He's not the one that's hitting the move to hurt LA Knight, which is what Bronson Reed was doing, and then the Mystery Man does it. And then he gets ejected from ringside. It's like, oh man, you're just Bebop and Rocksteady here. Like, you don't feel like you're a shredder. But when it was all said and done, then Bron gets through the promo. I was like, okay, well, now you do feel like you're the main picture here. The other problem I have with it, that WWE appears to have a problem with, is that when the bronze came down, fans weren't chanting for Punk. They were chanting for Roman.
Because of the Bronson Reed feud.
Yeah, because of the Bronson Reed thing.
Interesting.
And it was only then when Bron was doing his promo about Punk that the crowd started chanting for CM Punk.
Bron did a promo on Punk where he said he wants the old CM Punk, the one from 2011, the one that beat The Rock.
He did beat The Rock, and then because the Shield interfered, Michael Cole told me it was the damn Shield that did it, but the lights were off, we couldn't see, and then The Rock's not going to stop Punk. I am.
Yes. Was that the Rock's botch line?
Yeah. I can't remember what the setup for it is. It's like you're not going to restart the match. No, because even that works.
Yeah.
He botches the line either way. He has like the wrong clause within it.
It's very funny. You can go and watch our full Rock versus John Cena retrospective on patreon.com/WrestleTalk, where we laugh about that match a lot.
But yeah, Punk did beat The Rock first. He did pin him, but then The Rock got the match restarted, and then The Rock beat CM Punk.
Breaker did, if I don't get that version of you, I'm going to destroy him. I'm going to send you to hospital. I'm going to take your title, and I'm going to take your wife.
Very interesting. And I'm not saying that this is intentional, but so interesting that this was kind of what Eddie Kingston's promo on Dynamite was against Samoa Joe. I'm not looking for this version of Samoa Joe. I want the old Samoa Joe that was tearing up in Ring of Honor, because if this Samoa Joe turns up, I'm going to eat you alive. And Bron Breakker's promo here was like, I don't want this CM Punk. I want the CM Punk who was tearing up in 2011. Because if this CM Punk shows up, I'm going to take your title. I'm going to take your wife.
That is a parallel. But that's quite a trope in wrestling of wrestling promos.
I'm just saying, I thought it was fascinating that both happened. I'm not saying that WWE copied it, which some morons might. But I just thought it was really interesting that both of them happened within a week of each other.
And I guess the other similarity is at the end of the Kingston promo, Kingston goes, and then it's going to be spinning back fist. 1, 2, 3. Spinning back fist. 1, 2, 3. Feed me more.
Yeah, I'm not sure this one's going to get over.
3. What are they thinking?
Yeah, I'm not sure this one works.
There's a bit in this. I've seen some people take against it, but in the sort of big Scott Steiner-like rant. This promo wasn't as good as last week's, by the way, but it's still decent. Bron Breakker goes, I'm going to Bron break you. And I was like, I like that. I thought that was a fun little thing to slip in. But then when he said at the end, and then it's going to be spear. 1, 2, 3.
Spear. 1. And he said it multiple times. You're like, oh no, this is your new thing, isn't it?
And then he stopped and he looked down the camera lens and he went quiet and he went spear. 1, 2, 3. I was like, that's not a good idea. But then weirdly, so we have that. And there's a shot of Knight being helped to the back and he's backstage. And then after the Breakker promo, he's shown standing up. He's like, I'm going to go get some more. And Paul and Bronson go to the bag. They put
Logan,
him through.
that is not Heyman. You said
Logan
Paul.
Paul, yeah. They put him through a table. He's still getting up. So they put him on the top of a car, and Bronson does a splatter the tsunami on him off the top of some crates.
Sorry, I didn't mean to laugh because it was a good angle, but the car was making really funny, like, it was like...
Well, a lot of people have pointed out how that's not the alarm noise. What they reckon is someone's got the keys and they're locking it.
Boop, 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 boop.
They're just doing that. And because it's not actually in sync.
Yeah.
It's not the cadence that an alarm would go at.
Yeah, it's, I don't know. It's like, oh, this does not sound as cool or as like you've done a lot of damage to this car.
But it also, I don't think, I like that they tried something different because WWE needs that. I don't think this worked as an angle.
Well, also, I think it's clunky in the only reason they went backstage is because randomly the production showed LA Knight being helped to the back and standing up. It was just like, it was a really like, it was like, we want to have them go back and beat up LA Knight. How do we do that? Well, we could show LA Knight standing up. Okay, how do we do that? Well, we'll just put it up on screen. And then no one thought to ask why.
Yeah.
Why would we show that? They was like, no, that does work. Then they can go backstage and they can do the cool angle. It is a cool angle. I just thought it was really a clunky way to get there.
Yeah.
And it then takes away from Bron's promo, who should really be the focus of this, rather than writing LA Knight off TV.
Yeah, I'm not saying end the show on Spear 1, 2, 3, but it should be Bron ending the show directly calling out Punk.
I wonder if this sets up LA Knight to return at the Royal Rumble and eliminate Logan Paul from the Rumble to set up LA Knight versus Logan Paul at WrestleMania.
Very possible for a Pokemon card. Overall, I thought this was very good wrestling, but not much going on storyline-wise. The Jey Uso thing is a bit laughable, and it's bonkers that they didn't do more to set up Saturday night's main event.
Yeah, they're just sort of setting it on it being Cena's last match, and it's going to do well because it's Cena's last match. I'd imagine it's going to do very good numbers for Peacock, and it will do really good numbers on YouTube as well. It might be probably one of the more watched Saturday night's main events they've done on YouTube.
Oh, yeah. Won't it be hilarious if it does exactly the same as all the others? I guess we don't get the ratings anymore, really.
Well, you do on YouTube. Because you can see, and like Goldberg's, I think, is the most watched one. Goldberg's retirement. It'd be very funny if it did worse than Goldberg's retirement, but I don't think it will. I think it will like outperform that something fierce.
Well, let's see what you all thought on the
Patreon
comments.
Shoutouts first.
Oh yes, let's do Patreon shoutouts. Yeah, go over to patreon.com/WrestleTalk because not only will you get loads of exclusive WrestleTalk content, loads of end of the year stuff. We're going to have a 3 count for every John Cena retirement match and angle.
Yep, we've got 2 episodes of TLC out this month. We're going to have the worst wrestling fails going up on YouTube, and then over on patreon.com/WrestleTalk, the best wrestling wins with a special guest.
Oh yeah, we'll reveal that next week, I guess.
Yeah, so we'll reveal next week.
And you could also get a shout out on this very show, like Big Jiggy Josh Martin.
What's Best for Business Company Network.
Born to Do It, Evan Shibley.
John's Better, Beefier Brother, Josh Martin, James Morrison.
Abominable, Michael Abbott.
The Ring Rust Warrior, Rustage.
The Machine Gun, Alex Anderson.
He's a sexy man. Sexy man. Not an Andrew Gross man. Gross man.
Balding Brummy, Brett Linforth.
Flavor Flav. Letterman.
They put the Mo in Movember.
The British Bulldog, Philip Boy J. Smith Jr.
And Willie Big E Singleton.
Thank you so much for all of your Patreon pledge hammerage here in December. Thank you very much. And yeah, there'll be loads of bonus content coming up for you very, very soon. Hope you enjoyed over the weekend the final part of our look at Aces and Eights, where we have now wrapped that story up and are getting ready to do our next big one in January, where we're looking at the invasion from start to end as a bit of a tease for that. The first episode goes up in early January, and it is just under 6 hours long for the first episode.
It's the longest show we've ever done.
Yeah.
Unless there's an AEW live reactions I'm missing.
Well, I mean, as a podcast, like just us doing a straight up podcast, it's longer than any of the cutscenes that we've done. The longest there is like 5 hours, 5 minutes. Yes, just under 6 hours. The first episode is where we're watching the final Nitro and the Raw where they do the simulcast. But the first like 3 and a bit hours of it, nearly 4 hours of that show, is just us breaking down the sale of WCW from January 2000 all the way through to modern day. And actually, because of all the stuff that's going on with Netflix and Warner Brothers Discovery, a lot of like weird parallels that you can sort of point to between them.
And also on Patreon, if you're over there, you can send in your questions for this podcast. Dylan Campbell writes, I've been really enjoying Raw as of late, but this one had me scrolling socials a lot. I didn't want to believe it, but we are definitely back on the treadmill until Rumble season with all the stars gone. Just like that, no Punk, Cena, Seth, Roman, Brock, and you can feel it.
It does feel lacking in star power at the moment.
I think that'll come back on Saturday. Granted, that's not a Raw. But then, yeah, I think we're on treadmill holding period until first episode on the 5th.
Agreed.
Aziz, overall a confusing episode. I don't know if I liked it or not. I enjoyed Gunther and Breaker's promos. The matches were pretty good, nothing awful. But what was the point of LA Knight being a part of this episode? If they wanted to write him off, him tapping to Gunther wasn't enough. They really needed him to get his ass whooped by the Vision. I don't know. Seems weird to me.
That's why I think it's done to set up Knight versus Paul at Mania.
Rocco J. Fella. I feel like WWE has once again hit that low for me. Braun's promo was good, and the Usos back in the tag division is fine, but nothing with Dom, and Bailey's crazed persona are just gone. Rocco J. Fella, did you not see the coffee? And they seem to drop everything with Jay unless he is going to turn heel on his brother, and that ending just felt so rushed. To me, it felt like it went on forever. LA Knight stocks are so damn low, it's not even funny.
You should say as well, you could do Knight versus Reed at Mania as well.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of doing, maybe have they done Knight versus Paul? Have I made that?
Yeah,
up?
that was like one of Logan Paul's first storyline feuds on SmackDown.
Was it really?
Yeah, a couple of years ago. There was LA Knight went to Logan Paul's house and pushed him in the pool or something.
Yeah. Did he beat him for the US title? Or did he beat Ray for the US title? Did Knight beat him for the US title?
I can't remember. Figment writes, overall it was an okay show. That ending was just awkward. They wanted the focus to be on Braun, who cut a very Brock-esque promo, but the ending was focused on Knight, Paul and Reed. It's like Braun's promos are interrupted by his own group, and Braun's line about stealing Punk's wife made Heyman almost break. He had to hide his face after that one. Henry Riley Edwards, another not very good episode of Raw. I'm enjoying the women's tag division, but it's left no challenges for Vacquer. In hindsight, do you think Iyo should have beat Vacquer to become champion, as she had an inbuilt storyline with the Kabuki Warriors? So far, the belt on Stephanie has felt like a prop.
It's an interesting way to look at it. But I think with Iyo going into the tag division has elevated those titles up something fierce.
But there's so many other people in that tag division.
Yeah.
You could have had Iyo and Rhea going for the women's title.
So I wonder if them going into the women's division is basically done just to... I'm trying not to just sound like a negative Nancy here. I really do think that this women's title is not going to be treated seriously again or treated like a big deal until Iyo wins it back. Because I think one of the big stories next year is Rhea Ripley finally beating Iyo Sky to win that world title. So you basically just got Rhea and Iyo in the tag division to kill time until Iyo eventually wins the world title back.
Lily Petal, this feels like today's episode of Monday Night Wars with the two of you and Dan. You are the past, the PLE event, and so your next couple of episodes will be getting injured stars to rest, to rebuild their stamina, and trying to get a level 1 feud started. There were some bright spots on Raw, but overall, it was just a show. 60% for me. Jam that jam. So yeah, this is just a building episode of Raw, a functional episode of Raw. Andrew Mercogliano writes, do we think that multiple people are betraying the masked man to keep everyone guessing, or will the reveal actually be there are multiple attackers?
Yeah, this is the one I brought up earlier. It's an interesting theory.
Austin.
I wonder if it is just done to try and hide the identity. Probably because it is going to be Jericho. Because we clearly said on last week's Raw that he was the guy that scaled the cage at Survivor Series and jumped into the ring to attack CM Punk. We said that explicitly on the show. I wonder if it is because it's going to be Jericho, so you're just hiding as many people, hiding the identity as much as you can.
I think their initial plan was for it to be Austin Theory. I think they've thought, let's keep this as a holding thing so we can keep our options open. And I don't think they fully know right now.
That also is very possible that they don't know.
And finally for now, Jacob Smith. Not a raw comment, but a confession I have to make to Ollie. With 2025 making it easier than ever for a Brit like me to consume all the WWE, my wife and I have been hooked into the weekly TV and every PLE. She is an avid fan, but unlike me, not a WrestleTalk viewer, which means I have shamelessly been able to take Ollie's bits from the news, pass them off as my own, and train my wife into automatically performing the call and response. Weird training of your wife in a sort of dog-like way there. Highlights include screaming, "He's got an iguana" at the mere mention of Mr. Iguana, or the latest edition of Any Time We're Fantasy Booking or Planning What to Do, just emphatically stating it should always be Penta. Thanks for the material, Ollie. I probably owe you a beer. Yeah, you do. It shouldn't always be Penta anymore. It should always be Oberfemi.
Yeah, that's
always should be Ober now.
Yeah, I'm going to replace him.
But thanks very much for all your comments and for joining us here on this episode. Please do go over to patreon.com/WrestleTalk. There's loads of exclusive videos over there that you probably haven't watched, and it's the best way to support us here. Now, we haven't got the super chats and things like that going on. But for me, I'm Ollie Davis. This is Luke Owen, DAD. Jam that jam.
Jam that jam.